All right, quick heads up before we begin. What you are about to watch is not just a normal YouTube video. It is a real coaching call from inside of my Servant Leader Academy. It's real agents with real objections, with real deals on the line. Nothing here scripted and nothing is cleaned up. My name is Rankin, and I've sold over 1,000 homes in my career, and every single week I have multiple calls like this with agents, and we fine-tune their business together live. So don't watch this like a spectator. Grab a pen. When you hear something that you like and you resonate with, write it down and use it on your next call. All right, let's get after it. I'm going to go over a call review with Elias.
Yep. Hey, man, this is Elias. Look, you're probably going to hate me here too much for calling you out of the blue. I am a realtor, though, man. Completely get it if you want to hang up. I was just hoping to ask a quick question, if that's all right.
Okay.
I appreciate it. Well, I was just curious, man. Completely understand if you don't want to share. But I saw it came off the market today. I guess I was just curious. What made you guys decide not to sell anymore?
Okay. I love that. I think we talked about that the other day, Elias, that question.
Mm-hmm.
So most people ask if it's available, if it's sold, right? That gives them options. Instead, why don't you assume that they're not selling? Hey, I was just curious. I mean, if you don't mind me asking, what caused you guys to decide not to sell this home anymore? What are the people that are actually going to sell going to say?
No, we still want to sell it.
No, it's not that it's not that we didn't want to sell it. It's because of X, right? So what caused you not to want to sell this beautiful home, if you don't mind me asking? So you're right there testing their motivation right off the bat. Love it. All right.
Just looking to try a change. I've been getting a whole lot of action. I'm a retired real estate agent of over 25 years, and was working with a guy that I bought the house through, and just wasn't getting a whole lot of play on it. So I'm trying to decide whether I'm going to try a different realtor or I'm just going to do it for sale by owner. I mean, I've got tons of experience. I was in Scottsdale, Arizona for 27 years selling real estate, but since retired. So
Yeah.
my last house that I sold, which was way more than what I'm asking on this one myself. So
Okay.
but
Wow.
I'm kind of looking for somebody that has a market share of the higher end homes, maybe that has more, contacts in the internet world. So I'm not looking for anybody that's just going to sit on it because the guy that I had now was pretty formidable as far as being in the market share, but not.
Okay, I want to pause that. He's given so much information right now. Who's making a bunch of noise here? Anyway, so he's given you so much information right now. Where was your mind at this moment?
Thinking about what am I going to say with him being 25 years into the business.
Oh, interesting. Okay. All right. Where was your all's mind at as he's talking?
He seemed like a perfect candidate. He's thinking about using a different agent.
Oh, I guess
Okay.
actually the other thing was he said for sale by owner or going into another agent.
Could be.
But
Was anybody listening to something they could go deeper on? Be honest.
Why did
I
he get
guess,
out of real estate?
yeah, and if he's so experienced, why did his house not sell?
Yeah. What I'm trying to communicate to you guys is there's a lot here to go deeper on instead of just going on to the next part of the conversation. It's going deeper on something he just said. So I'm going to replay it again. And I want you to tell me all the different things that you could actually ask a question about. Okay. You guys listen for all the opportunities. I'm going to rewind it a little bit and then we're going to start again.
A market share of the higher, but since retired. So
Yeah.
my last.
Okay, hold on. He went on for like a minute.
Getting a whole lot of play on
Here we
it.
go.
So I'm trying to decide whether I'm going to try a different realtor or I'm just going to do it for sale by owner. I mean, I've got tons of experience. I was in Scottsdale, Arizona for 27 years selling real estate, but since retired. So
Yeah.
my last house that I sold, which was way more than what I'm asking on this one myself. So
okay.
but
Wow.
I'm kind of looking for somebody that has a market share of the higher end homes, maybe that has more, contacts in the internet world. So I'm not looking for anybody that's just going to sit on it because the guy that I had now was pretty formidable as far as being in the market share, but not just wasn't getting any action. So my before I would go to probably for sale by owner. If I still don't, if I don't really talk to anybody that I feel has got the experience or the contacts, I'll probably go to for sale by owner. So that's
Yeah.
kind of where I'm at right now.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. There was like 6 or 7 different opportunities there.
Yeah, going back and listening to it, I definitely heard them a lot more. Like, why aren't you selling down here? Or what are you looking for in your next realtor? Or, what do you mean they just sat on it? I
There's
mean,
there. Yeah, you name some. Anybody name some more?
What do you mean
I
by
think
market
I think
share?
he just mentioned it. I was gonna say he's looking for someone to do something different. So to
Mm-hmm.
be proactive, which realtors don't
Let's
do.
let's sum it up really quick. He's trying to decide whether he wants to go with another agent, and if he does go with another agent, he wants somebody that has a lot of market share, which has contacts. But he did say his last agent had a lot of market share. He knew a lot of people, and it didn't work. So that's another way to question it. But he also said, I don't know if I want to go with an agent or if I want to sell it by owner. I'm trying to decide that. So what's a question that we could ask on something there to go a little bit deeper?
what would someone have to show you to even think about relisting with an agent again?
Okay, let's go. Let's tweak that a little bit.
I will probably go. So, I mean, it sounds like you had a bad experience. So, what do you think, based on what you're saying, what your agent could have done differently?
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's a good question. So that's going off the agent side. But instead of us taking the side of the agent side, what do we first have to find out? How is he going to know which direction to go? So, Mark, I mean, how are you going to know if whether you want to go for sell by owner or you want to go with another agent? Because he's saying he doesn't know. So, how are you going to know? How will you know which one is best?
I feel like I didn't think about that because when he said market share, I just assumed that he meant he wants somebody
Mm-hmm.
who's a big dog like down here that has a lot of listings and
Mm-hmm.
network or
Mm-hmm.
something.
Well, he mentioned a lot about what he's looking for in an agent. He already kind of told you that information, but he also wasn't for sure which way he wanted to go. So you need to eliminate that. So, Mark, how are you going to know? I don't know. What's his name? Was it Mark or is it something else?
Uh, Shoot, dude, I forgot. I think it was Raymond.
Raymond. Okay. Raymond, I guess if you don't mind me asking, I mean, you shared a lot of information with me, which I appreciate. But man, how are you going to know whether to go for sell by owner or to go with another agent? Like, how are you going to make that decision?
I like that. You shared a lot of information. Acknowledge everything because it's so hard to
Yeah.
acknowledge everything you
Always
said.
acknowledge it. Just say you shared a lot of information here, but how are you going to know whether it makes more sense to go by owner or with an agent? He's probably going to tell you, and you guys let me know what you think. He's probably going to tell you, well, if I can find an agent to do XYZ, blah, blah, blah. If I had an agent that had good market share, that had this, that had that, then he's going to really dial in on that, which tells you he doesn't want to go by owner, right? So then
Yeah.
after he says that to you, then we focus on the agent, right? Okay. So a question that you can ask after that, if he says, well, I want an agent that does this and does that and does that. I gotcha. I gotcha. So when your agent and you sat down and he explained to you that even having market share, why he wasn't able to get the home sold, what did he tell you? You see, what is that called? What kind of question is that?
Is that Socratic?
Presumptive. You're presuming
Oh, yeah,
that something happened. When you and your agent sat down, even though he had market share, right? Because he's like, I want an agent with market share. I got to have an agent. But my last agent had a lot of contacts, like he was doing this. So when your last agent, who said he had a lot of market share, sat down with you and showed you why the home didn't sell, even though he had market share, what did he tell you? Well, he never sat down. He never really showed me anything. So is market share the only thing that's important to you?
That's so good.
I like that.
Right? What you're doing is, okay, so you know how an attorney, when they are talking to the defense attorney, what's their number one goal?
Prove doubt.
Reasonable doubt. Right? So anything he's saying to you, this is what I want, this is what I need. And you know, Elias, you're going, man, I don't have a lot of market share. I don't have a ton of listings. You have to plant reasonable doubt that that's even a real thing.
Hmm.
So is the market share the only thing that really matters to you in an agent? Well, I mean, not necessarily. Well, what else is important? It'd be this, and it'd be this, and it'd be this. So let's pretend I told you that I didn't have a lot of market share, yet I can match all those other things. Would you tell me this conversation's over? Or would you still have a
Dude,
conversation?
that's money.
Right? So you're walking him down the line, but you first have to start like eliminating all the little things that could be issues before you can get him focused. Because if you start, I don't know I'm going to listen to it. I don't remember exactly, but if you don't take him down one line, like one road, then he's going to try to jump from road to road and it's going to confuse you.
Yeah.
You know what I
Dude,
mean?
yeah. I
Okay.
think I just went through like the conversion change, so I didn't really dig deeper into this call. I just
You
went on to the
will.
next
The
question.
conversion chain is there, but you don't go from chain to chain until you've
Yeah.
created emotion, until you've started to go deeper on each
Yeah.
one.
Well, I mean, like I didn't probe. I just went
Exactly.
on to the next question.
Well, I
Yep. You
know
stay logical.
my
Yeah.
first reaction too when he said something about, oh, I want somebody with market share, social media. My first reaction was like, oh shit, I don't have those. Yeah.
Yeah.
So to eliminate them off of being
Yeah.
important is real nice.
Yeah. You're just planting doubt. You're not saying that it's not important. You're just saying, is that the only thing you're looking for?
Hmm.
When you hire a new agent, the only thing you're looking for is if they have market share? Well, no, not necessarily. Well, what else are you looking for? And out of those, what do you feel like the most important thing is? Do you feel like it's having a database of people, or do you feel like it's knowing how to actually get a buyer to pay what you're asking? Right? But that's later on the conversation. I'm just saying, like, that's the direction it would go. Okay, let's continue.
And so right now, I mean, I completely get where you're coming from with wanting contacts and experience with houses like this and et cetera. So, if I were to ask what else you would be looking for a realtor in terms of everything else, a lot of the people that I talked to tell me the communication was terrible or, we
No,
just came and put,
not at all. No communication issues at all. I mean, a good company and everything that I worked with. It's just, he's had it for a while and just haven't seen anything. I mean, he got the right photos and he's got the signs. I don't do open houses because I'm just not a believer in open houses.
mm-hmm.
Uh, but realistically, no showings. So I just felt that and
Okay, let me get
I
through this
give
question, this
excuses.
thing.
Well, it's the time of the year, or it's this or that, and I get it. I was in real estate for forever.
Yeah.
Sometimes just making a change is at least something worth to try before I go to for sale by owner. I really didn't want to do a for sale by owner because I just don't have the time, but I can and easily. I mean, I used to do drone photography when drones were still new, and I can do all my photos and everything if I need to. But so yeah, that's what I'm basically at. And I've got I've reached out to a couple people that were referred to me. I just haven't heard back from them yet. But I'm giving them a
Yeah.
few days to contact me. So
No, that seems fair, and I'd love to ask you a question about that, man. Before I do, I guess I'd like to take a step back. Completely up to you if you even want to share this, but I am kind of curious because it looks like the property is great. It was updated in 2025. It seems like you guys have done some good updates
yeah,
to it, taking care of it.
I've put in over $100,000 worth of.
Okay, so you're getting into some good stuff here, but I want to back up a little bit because we kind of skipped over everything you said, which is okay. I think the reason you skipped over is because he gave you so much information that you didn't know what to do.
Yeah, he did. And like the question I asked him before he started talking about all of that, I kind of went into like the ABC trying to probe as to
Yep.
I understand that, market share is important to you, but I know a lot of the times when I talk to sellers, they'll tell me it's either this, or this. Is any of that ring a bell kind of thing, or
Hmm.
was it something else? And that was my way of asking them, um, I know that market share is important, but what else is important? I should have
Right.
just been more clear about it rather than going into the ABC trying to assume that he was going to answer that question.
He interrupted you in the middle of that, which sometimes they're not going to interrupt you. It's okay that he interrupted you. Just take it for what it is. But as he's now speaking after he interrupted you, he said, no, communication was great. I just didn't see anything. I didn't, we didn't have many showings, blah, blah, blah. And he's starting to now tell you the problems, right? Which gives you
Yeah.
the problem. You were going to find out the problem from the ABCs, but he give it to you. He just
Yeah.
said, no, wasn't communication. It was this. So it still worked. The question worked. He just pretty much jumped ahead.
Yeah.
Okay. So whenever he jumped ahead, he said what? He said he didn't see anything. There was hardly any showings. Okay.
Yeah.
This should go back to another presumptive question. What should it be?
So
Anybody?
when you weren't getting any showings and your agent called you to try to resolve that issue, what did they tell you?
Beautiful. Something like that. Or even when you asked your agent why he wasn't getting any showings, what did he tell you? Right. Well, we didn't ask him. Well, what do you think he would have said? He would have probably said that, it was just the market. It was this, it was that. Can I ask you an honest question? You've been in the business 25 years. Do you really believe him?
That's crazy. That's awesome.
Do you really believe him? No, no. Or you could even say this. No, you've been in the business for 25 years. You know homes are selling just like yours around here. Do you really believe that? Do you really believe that it was actually just a market thing? Or could it have been something else? Well, I'm not sure. Let me ask you this. If it was something else, what could it have been?
Try to get him to say price.
Get him to say whatever.
Yeah.
All you're trying to do is plant reasonable doubt that
Yeah.
it could be something that can be resolved with a new agent. You're not talking bad about the agent. You're not putting them down. You're asking questions, and he's the one that's giving you the answers to it. He's the one that's revealing that this agent wasn't doing certain things, right? Hey, real quick, if you are getting value from what you're watching, understand something. This is just one call. Inside of my academy, we do this multiple times a week, every single week. Live coaching calls, just like the one you're watching. You bring the objections you're struggling with. You bring the deals that you're working on, the conversations that you may be stuck on. You can bring the systems, the follow-up, the listing presentations, anything that you need help with, and I will personally help you work on them live. Okay, if you want to be in that room, all you have to do is click the link below, and you're going to chat directly with either me or my team. You're going to tell us where you're at, where you're trying to go, and we'll tell you if you're a good fit or not. Because I'm definitely not the coach for everyone. And what I teach is not for everyone either. Okay, but if you're serious about doing the work, about growing your business, I'd love to have a conversation to see if it's a good fit. If it's not, no big deal. All right, let's get back to the call. So let me play here. Let's see where you take it from here. Hold on, let me rewind it because I paused it in the middle of that because I was going to say something, but there's a really good question you could have asked here.
Photos and everything if I need to. But so yeah, that's what I'm basically at. And I've got I've reached out to a couple people that were referred to me. I just haven't heard back from them yet. But I'm giving them a few days to contact me. So
No, that seems fair.
Okay. So what was his name again? I forget his
Raymond.
name. Raymond. So Raymond, if you don't mind me asking, you've been in the business for a long time. You're a retired real estate agent. Why not just try it on your own for a while?
True. Push him
Why
away.
not? Why not just do it on your own for a while? You can probably do better than most agents. Why not just give it a shot? I mean, because let's face it, if I were to show you something right now and you believe that it would actually net you the money that you needed to get the home sold, just because I didn't have market share, you're probably going to tell me that you would never even look at it. Am I right?
Yeah.
But that's when you start to challenge it once he replies. Well, I mean, I would rather an agent do it. I would rather have somebody else do it. Okay, well, let's face it. I mean, if I told you XYZ, knowing I didn't have a lot of market share, if you still believe that I could get the property sold for the most amount of money and actually get this thing done, and you knew I would work harder than anybody else in this market, you're probably still going to tell me that it doesn't matter, that you wouldn't even take a look at what I had to say, right? So let's see where you take it.
I'd love to ask you a question about that, man, before I do, I guess, I'd like to take a step back, completely up to you if you even want to share this, but, I am kind of curious because it looks like the property is great. It was updated in 2025. It seems like you guys have done some good updates to it, taking care of it.
I've put in over $100,000 worth of updates to this house. So
yeah. So I guess what in the world has you guys looking to sell it? If you've gone $100,000 deep into this, I mean, that's a good amount of change there, man.
That is a great question. Y'all hear that? You've put in, he didn't just say, why don't you keep it? Or why are you selling? Or anything like that. He said, man, you put in 150,000. That's not cheap. Why in the world are you selling this thing then? Great way to ask the question, because it makes sense why you would sell a home after putting that much money into it, right?
Right.
Good job. That's a great question.
Man.
yeah, well, it's all everything's paid for. I mean, I have no debt on this house at all, and it just happens that I physically need to change to a house that has no stairs in it, and this has stairs in the house,
Yeah.
which again narrows down your market share when you've got a house with a lot of stairs. But again, everything that's on the water is going to have stairs. So I mean, there's a lot of houses on the water down here. But I just I've had I had a knee replacement done within the last 6 months, and some other things to where I'm looking to change my environment for me.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. I mean,
So
right here,
guess-
I was thinking of what I wanted to say instead of listening, so I stuttered there because I was trying to rethink. What was I
Okay.
going to say? I just had it, and then it
Yeah,
went
it's
away.
okay.
But what I wanted to ask there was, man, if everything is paid off, why not just rent it and make passive income and challenge that? But then I
You
went for the
can.
appointment here, I think,
That's okay. You can. But what did he just describe to you?
that he just doesn't want stairs. He's getting old and stuff.
Right. But what does that mean? Like, where is the pain here?
He wants to go into a flatter property.
Because why? What's it doing to him to live in this home?
I
What's
missed
it
that.
doing to his body? Because he said the word physically. So there's actual physical pain associated with this move. If he's not selling, or if he doesn't sell this home, he's going to become more physically in pain.
When
Mm,
Austin, when you said where is the pain here, I'm like in his knees.
Exactly. 100%. His pain is in his body.
yeah.
But what I mean is like the pain is in him not selling this results in him not being able to get out of this painful situation. So this can just be a simple showing you understand, some kind of probe, some kind of like question to say, man, Raymond, I mean, it sounds to me that this move is kind of not so just because you want to, but it kind of sounds like if you don't move, like you're just experiencing a lot of pain in your body from having to deal with a home with stairs and stuff like that. And I feel for that, man. Like, is that kind of what you're experiencing?
That was a great question to ask. I think I went for the appointment here.
Right.
I messed up
You
big
didn't
time.
use the grinder. You didn't
Yeah.
put them in the emotional grinder to where you say, man, it sounds to me that this is more than just a normal move. This is a move so your body can feel better and not have to
Yeah.
deal with the stairs and you to be able to have a smaller area and kind of more flatter surfaces so you don't have to deal with all the knee pain and stuff like that, right? There you go. So then once he starts to respond to that, that gives you more of an opportunity to actually go for an appointment.
Yeah.
Right. Now, where are we at on the chain so far? Can anybody say? We got permission. We got why he wants to sell, right? We wants to sell. We got the why just now. We brought up alternatives, I think, didn't we? Did we already bring up alternatives?
Yeah, you can't rent it.
Can't rent it. Okay. What else are we missing?
When
When? Okay. Did you get to that?
No, I don't think I did.
Okay. All right. Let's listen.
Completely up to you here, man. I was gonna bring up the idea of, looking at a different strategy, but I mean, even if I can show you a strategy that you felt genuinely made sense to help you sell this property, I mean, it seems like you've got some people in mind that you contacted. So I guess would it totally disqualify me even if I could net you the amount that you need?
Yeah, I'm sure everybody that's going to call me has got a plan, because otherwise, you wouldn't be calling me. But I'm looking for somebody that's got a pretty good market share of the industry, that's got a track record of selling homes that are $1 million. I had a couple of people call me and they were like, had a couple listings for land for $70,000, and they ain't going to cut it. I mean, that's not what I'm looking for. So.
Yeah.
I mean, if you've got a track record of selling, $1 million homes, I'd be willing to talk to you. But I mean, if you don't, and you're relatively new in the industry, which, I was at one point new in the industry.
What is it?
Said I don't even want to listen to what I say next. I start selling myself there.
It's all right. No, it's okay. So this puts him in a pretty tough position, doesn't it? It's put him in a position where he literally is not any of the things that he wants. Okay, so when somebody goes negative, what are you supposed to do?
Even more negative.
You go more negative.
Yeah.
Right? So when he's saying all these things, number one is if he's like, yeah, everybody's gonna tell me they have a plan, blah 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 blah. If I ever hear that, I always go to the same thing. You're right. Everybody's gonna actually tell you what you want to hear, but how are you gonna know they're telling you the truth? Is it something you're gonna believe from hearing them, or you got to be able to see it? You got to be able to see the proof. Well, we got to see the proof. Okay, so that just set you up for an appointment at that point. But if outside of this, he said, well, everybody tells me they can do this and they can do that. I get that, but let me ask you this. I know everybody may tell you what you want to hear, but how are you going to know they're telling you the truth? How are you going to know that an agent actually could get you the result you're looking for? What would need to happen? You see?
Yeah.
So when you get that answer is when you would actually do the more negative. Everybody following? Because you can't actually get that answer and you can't go more negative until you get the answer from that. Because he's going to tell you, he's going to set you up. Well, I mean, we would have to see it. We'd have to, have a look at what they do and really feel like it's going to get us the result we're looking for. Okay, so then let's say he asked that question and then you ask a more negative question. What would that be, guys? He said, I want somebody that sells $1 million homes. I want somebody that has a track record. If you only have 2 little land listings, it's probably not going to cut it. He said all these things that made Elias go, shit, like I am not qualified. But what can you say now?
The way that I'm thinking of would be the way that you disqualify for like at a listing appointment. If I told you that I'm not
Pull the
any
pin.
of those things, or not, I haven't sold $1 million home yet, but after seeing my strategy, you genuinely felt that I was the best man for the job and I could work harder than anybody else to sell your property. Are you saying that it just completely disqualifies me?
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. I would emphasize the pros here. When I say emphasize, I mean the way you say it, not the words you say, but the way you say it. So, Raymond, let me ask you this before I let you go. I'm going to tell you up front a couple things. I'm going to tell you that I haven't sold many $1 million homes. I don't have 1 million listings. I don't have a ton of market share. But knowing that right now up front, let's say that we got together. I'm not saying you're going to, but let's say we got together. And after seeing what I do, you not only believed it was the best strategy to get the home sold, but you knew that I would outwork every other agent that you put me up against. And not only that, but that what I showed you blew every other agent strategy out of the water. Is me not having these accolades that are so important to you going to completely disqualify me from actually getting your home sold? Be honest. Well, I don't think, or would it completely disqualify us from just sitting down and having a conversation if that was the case? Well, no, not necessarily. Right? You have to fall on that grenade. You have to pull the pin and let it go off in your hand before they let it go off.
And
Because you have control.
it might be one you just walk away on because, if he needs $1 million listing and you're not it, then just move on to the next guy and don't waste your time,
Yep.
And it's
This
better to
guy
just go
specifically,
up.
though, this guy specifically was a realtor. So
Yeah.
guess what he had? He had a start just like Elias did. So you can bring that up. If he still pushes back and said, yeah, it's pretty important, right? Raymond, can I ask you one last question? I know we're probably not going to do business together because I don't have those accolades that you're looking for. But when you got into the business, who was the guy that actually gave you the opportunity to sell your first $1 million home? Do you remember?
Dude, that's money. That's freaking money question.
And he goes, yeah, I do. I remember that guy. It's creating a story, an emotion, right? Right. I guess I would love for that person to be you, to give a young guy a chance to actually come in and prove to you that I can actually get this job done. And I'm not even asking for you to hire me. I'm asking for you to let me show you what I can do. And if you're not 100% convinced at the end of that conversation that I can get the job done, we can shake hands and you don't have to give me that opportunity. But are you telling me that you're not willing to be that person, to just give a young guy an opportunity here?
I love that.
They're going to be like,
He actually brought that up, though. He asked me how long I've been doing it. I said 3 years, and he was like, well, that's not to say you won't be successful. Or he said something around that.
Well, then that's the perfect time.
Yeah, that would have been the perfect time.
Well, not to be you won't be successful. Hey, look, you're right. I'm going to be successful regardless. The question is, are you going to be one of the clients to help me get there?
Yeah, that's crazy.
So when you
What's up,
say
Nick?
pull the pin, is it at that point it's okay to sell yourself just a little bit there?
Pull the pin is basically telling them something that is going to come up. Like, I haven't sold that many homes. I haven't done this. I'm more expensive than other agents. Like, you're telling them before they find out.
Okay.
And what you're saying is, if I told you, can even just straight out ask this question, Elias. Look, if I told you right now that I have not sold $1 million home, or I don't have the experience that some of these other agents have, are you telling me that this conversation's over? Be honest. Like, you can just ask that straight up. If he comes back with anything other than, yeah, that's what I'm telling you. Well, here, and then you stop him. Let me ask you this. Let's pretend we got together. Then you boom. Then you kind of deliver the here's what could happen. If that was the case, would that matter? So you can do it in 2 steps if you want to, but the way I done it, Nick, was just basically saying, if I told you XYZ, or I'm going to tell you XYZ right now, if you know that right now, even if XYZ were to happen, you're still probably going to tell me that it disqualifies me. Am I right? That's going more negative. Okay. Let's see.
Many, many years ago, kind of, had to go out and earn the business, and but really, I think what's going to sell this is, again, market share and strategy, in dealing with homes of this size, and contacts. The other thing is, everything right now is being relied on the listing contacts. I mean, sometimes you should have your own share of people that they're looking for houses that you can bring in too. So
Yeah, I guess.
But if you want, I'll tell you what, because I got to get going here. If you want to send me or text me,
Okay, we'll get to this one in a second. So what did he just mention? You should have your own set of contacts for when you have a listing, right? So what is he basically saying to us right now?
We should have buyers for listings that we list or something.
Yeah, that listing agents should bring their own buyers.
Yeah.
Okay.
This guy is an idiot.
Yeah.
He doesn't know how to. I bet you he sold one house in his life 25 years ago. He has no idea what he's talking about.
Maybe.
I got Zillow. What do you mean?
Maybe. However, how do you know? How do you? Okay, so I'm gonna give you this question and be like, golly, that's a good question. So, hey, do you mind me asking, when you were selling homes, how many times did you actually have a list of the buyers that bought it, or did you employ the buyers agents to bring the buyers?
Yeah.
Yeah. True.
I'm just curious. I mean, you've been in the business for 25 years.
Yeah. How many dual agencies did you do and all your transactions?
Yeah. Or just use the market, like use the market in general. If this wasn't an agent himself, you can say, can I ask you kind of a blunt question? I always like to preference it because this is going to be a blunt question. So anytime you ask kind of a straightforward and challenging question, preference it with, I'm going to ask you a question that'll make you uncomfortable. Hey, I'm going to ask you a blunt question. What is it? When you see all the homes that are selling in the area, how many of them do you know actually only have one agent involved? Are you aware of how many only have one agent involved? Well, I'm not sure. If I told you that only about 1 to 2% of those sales involve just one agent and the rest of them involves 2 agents, what would you say? Well, I don't know. I mean, so then how in the world are you going to find an agent out of the 2% of sales nationwide that always brings their own buyers? What if you can't find that?
Austin, could you also say something like, you personally, that there's agents out there that, that do both sides, but you personally don't like to do both sides because you can't really give your all to either side, and that's just not the way that you like to do business?
I could bring that up in some situations, but in this situation, it's going to make you seem like you don't want to go out there and try to find the buyer. But I would use that in kind of a fiduciary conversation, like when we start talking about the listing presentation and all that. Like, my job is to support you 100%, not to split it between 2 people. So that's probably what's going to happen, is there's going to be another agent involved. But let me tell you why that's a good thing. And then I would kind of break it down like that.
It's almost like the questions that you're asking, you're kind of being like a smartass, but you're saying it in such a way.
Well, you're asking to be blunt, straightforward.
But like the questions you're asking, it's like duh. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes you got to be that way. You can soften them if you guys don't like to be blunt. I like to be blunt sometimes, but I'm also going to preference that.
do they
Uh,
ever get defensive though when you start asking those questions?
if you don't say it, if you don't ask them straight out, can I ask you a blunt question?
Yeah.
Can
Okay.
I ask you a personal question that might make you feel a little uncomfortable? Right? If I ask you the question first and I don't preference it by saying that, then yes, people get defensive. But if
Okay.
I called you and I said, "Hey, you're going to be upset with me," you ever had like your husband or whatever, or somebody say, "Hey, you're going to be upset with me," and then when they tell you it's really not that bad, but if he didn't say that first, then you would have probably been more upset. It's just the way you prime somebody's mind before you ask them a question.
Okay.
So
Cool.
that's why you can be blunt and ask those questions, is you have to preference it.
Okay.
Hey,
All right.
Austin.
Yeah.
So, what about, I mean, he wants you to have a list of buyers, which you're going to have.
Mm-hmm.
Um, as soon as you list that house, as soon as that house goes on the market, you're going to have the list of potential buyers through reverse prospecting.
Mm-hmm.
How could you, you could, I assume you could preface it in a way that, well, when you had it listed before, I'm sure the agent showed you how reverse prospecting works. And that's a tool that, yes, all agents have, but not all agents are using. And,
Mm-hmm.
kind of go into, I'd love to show you how that works and how we can generate a list of potential clients on day one.
Yeah, you got to be careful with ask because, like, I think in one of the other calls that Elias did, he said when your agent, or I'm assuming your agent did this, this, and this, right? They showed you price bracketing, they showed you this, right? And he said, yeah, 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 yeah. He showed me all that. And the reality, he probably has no idea what that is. So instead of saying it that way, you have to say, when your agent showed you this, this, and this, what did it sound like? What did they say? It can't be a yes or no. That's why they go, yeah, yeah, they showed me that.
Yeah, he just completely like bounced over the question. So then that
Exactly,
left me
because it was
kind
a
of like,
yes or no
okay, where
question.
do I go from here?
It was a
Yeah,
yes or
well, I
no.
guess I was trying to respond to his, you should have a list of clients. Well, I
Mm-hmm.
do. I
Yeah.
do have a list of potential buyers.
Yeah.
Um, some of them represented by our team, and some of them represented by others.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because we keep
Yeah.
track of that. I'd love to show you how I generate that list on day one of
Yeah.
your house going live.
Yep.
Something along those lines. Because
If you got pressed, well, do you have a list of people and buyers? Absolutely. Absolutely. And once we sit down together and I walk you through everything, I'll show you what one of those lists look like so you can see for yourself. Fair enough? Like I don't explain reverse prospecting. I don't
yeah,
explain all that stuff. I just say, yep. And once we sit down together, I'll walk you through one of those so you can see for yourself. So yeah, you can definitely bring that up, but I wouldn't until you're pressed for it.
I think this
Armado.
guy, I think this guy just wants agent. It's just like this guy's ego. He just wants the agent who has the market share, you know.
He's under the impression that what it takes to sell a home is not really what he thinks.
Yeah, and it's more about a vanity thing, so he's gonna go with whoever that is. And I mean, you could probably try it every 50,000 ways to get this guy and
Well, he
probably.
did get an appointment.
Oh, he did?
Not on this call, but he got an appointment.
Nice.
Because as we go through it, he's gonna ask him really good questions. It's gonna get better. But I just was pointing out some of the ways to overcome some of these things he was saying so that you're not facing him at the appointment.
Wait, did he get
Nice.
the appointment with this particular guy?
He
Yeah.
did, yeah, but not on the call.
Oh, good.
He ended up getting an appointment because he sent him over a video.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, let's listen. Oh, Armado, what's up, buddy? Sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. If your team actually has a list of clients, how do
Yeah.
you leverage that on a call?
I mean, if they bring it up and you have a list of clients and you just say, no, I agree. I think everybody should have some kind of list of a database that they can put out and see if they can even find the buyer themselves. Are you saying that when you and your agent sat down and he walks you through that list, that his list wasn't big, or did it just not exist, or was it something else?
Got it.
Well, he didn't. I mean, because remember he told you that, or he told us that he had a list of buyers. that his agent had a list of people. He had a market share of people, but it didn't get the home sold, right?
Yeah, because from our list of buyers, very rarely somebody from that list buys one
Correct.
of our listings.
100%
Yeah.
ever. It never is.
Yeah,
But
rarely happens.
but at the same time, Raymond, do you mind if I ask you a blunt question? I know you mentioned your last agent had a list of buyers and they had their own market share. If that was the most important thing, why didn't it sell the first time with him? That's a blunt question, right?
Guys, I normally say that as a statement, not a question.
Yeah, always make it a state or a question. Always. All right, let's go to the
Okay,
next one.
so
Link for your information about yourself. I'll definitely look over it, and if it's if you can send me your little thing about your experience and everything. If it's something that the direction I'll go, I'll give you a call back, or at least get in contact with you.
Yeah, and I'll let you go here with just one last question. Is that fair? You got enough time for just one last thing here, man?
Sure.
I appreciate it. Well, I guess, I know you have a lot of experience with this as well, but I'm sure you probably already are familiar and with your previous realtors, you guys went over price bracketing and looking into the demand that's actually creating buyers to look at properties and all of that, right? I mean, that was part of the strategy.
Sure.
You guys, you
I
hear
didn't
that?
ask him when. Yeah.
So when your agent showed you this, and you can just do one, when your last agent walks you through how he was leveraging price bracketing, what did he tell you he was doing? Because now he
Like the
can't say, yeah,
leveraging,
he
yeah.
showed me that. Okay, well, what did he show you? What did he tell you? I'm just curious if he was doing that or not. And then he's not going to be like, well, I don't know. I don't know if he showed me that or not. I don't remember what he showed me. He can't just say yes. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. He showed me that. Yeah, sure. Right. Okay.
Okay.
Go ahead.
No, it's okay. Go ahead.
Perfect. Well, I'm going to send you over my information as well, man. But I mean, completely up to you. I'll send it over. A lot of the times people tell me that it's just to get me off the phone. And, if that's the case, man, I completely respect that. You won't hurt my feelings.
No. Send me over.
Beautiful.
Send me over your. And to be honest with you, I check everybody out too. It's not like I'm going to take everything at face value. So
Yeah.
referrals and your sales and everything else over the last few years. And how long you been in the business?
I've been in it for 3 years.
3 years. So you're still pretty fresh, but that doesn't say that you can't be successful within that 3 years period of time. But,
Yeah.
Send me over. And what company you work for?
I'm with Remax Lake of the Ozarks, and usually I co-list with my team leader as well, which he's had about 27 years of experience as well. So it would be me and him that would talk to you and kind of tag team it. You get 2 for 1, really, man.
Yeah, no, I know it's a totally different scheme than.
You hear that? Yeah. I mean, I get it. But that tonality I've heard this a million times.
And he started taking control of the conversation here. He started asking me questions too.
Does that even work, bringing somebody over with you?
Huh?
Does that even work, bringing somebody with you?
I could. I mean, if you really are doing like super luxury and you have never done it, it probably makes sense to bring somebody on that's done it.
Got it.
I mean, especially if you're a team lead, like might as well. Because there is some different stuff with marketing and things like that when it comes to luxury that you don't have a lot of whenever it's normal, just low end properties. You have more open houses, broker open houses, like that kind of stuff they come to. Like it works in the luxury field.
State now everything's teams.
Yeah.
You have your experienced seasoned person as your team leader, and then you have kind of your team around you that does your open houses and whatever. So,
yeah.
But yes,
send
over your info.
I'll send some stuff over though, man. I do have listings gate right now from 0 to 2.1 million is where I'm at right now with my listings, and I'll send over all my stuff, and you can check me out and see what you think, and if you think it's even a good idea to review me.
Let me ask you, because I know how listings work. Are those listings that you physically went and got the 2.1, or is that in your team?
No, that's mine. That's under my name.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's fair. Because I know a lot of times anymore.
Oh, that's it. It cut off.
Yeah, it wouldn't let me send the whole thing because it was too long. But
that's all right.
Basically, from there, he just told me that a lot of the times people just leverage their team's listings and this and that to get it. And I go into telling him that I'm going to send this over to him. And it was like 30 seconds to a minute after this. But after that, I sent him a text message with my resume. And he texted me the next day saying, "Hey, I'm meeting with agents this week. The Wednesday or Thursday work."
Yeah, and he did already say he's going to be meeting with a few of the agents. He already called them, waiting for them to call back, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when he said send me your information, send me that, I would have remembered he's already meeting with people, right? So I would have asked him. So just so I'm understanding correctly, when I send you over this information in my email, are you making a decision by what you see in the email or by meeting with people,
Yeah.
right? And what would he have said? Well, I know I'm going to meet with them. I'm not going to make a decision about what's in the email. Okay, so let's do this then. And then this is up to you if you want to, but let's put something on the calendar. I'll send you my information. If you don't like what you see, you can cancel it. Right? Because the reality is you're not going to make a decision over my email. So if we put something on the schedule, you love what you see, we already have a meeting to get set up to let me show you what I can do. Fair enough?
Yeah.
So always try to get something tentatively on the calendar. He probably would have went for that.
True.
Because he was already waiting. He was already meeting with other agents, right?
Yeah.
Any questions on that? Armado.
I'm good.
Okay.
I have a question. What
Go ahead.
video did you send him?
I sent him some of my listing videos. So I sent him a text message with my resume. Here, let me pull it up so I know exactly what I said to him. I sent him a message and I said, "Hey, Raymond, as promised, here's my resume. I know you have experience, so you know how things go. Most realtors will try and tell you everything you want to hear just to earn another listing under their belt, completely forgetting the most important thing, which is you and your goals. I'm not saying I'm the agent for you by any means. That's for you to decide. But if you're looking for someone who's honest, don't hesitate to reach out." And then I sent him some of my listing videos since he says he wants someone with market share.
Nice.
Perfect. You really, really, really supported his autonomy in that message. That was great. So everybody learn from that. That was
When's
good.
your
Yeah, well,
appointment?
recently when I've been sending out text messages, I think like before I type, I'm like, how can I push them far? Like, how do I push them further?
Yeah,
Like
push
before
them
I
away
start
a little
typing,
bit.
that's my
Yeah.
question I ask. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Y'all learn a lot from that call?
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. You guys know, and you probably learned this by now, questions is the game here. If you can know how to ask questions after everything they say in a way that doesn't feel like you're interrogating them, but you're just like flowing in the conversation, it's going to make the biggest difference in your business out of everything else when it comes to prospecting is how good are you at asking questions? Because if you ask questions that the person goes, that's a good question. They don't feel interrogated because their mind gets excited like, man, that's a good question. Let me think about that. And they give you an honest answer. So you have to create questions because every time I said a question, you always went like, oh, that's a good question. It's just because you have to ask really good questions. It can't be just bland, boring. Like it has to be things that make them think, make them explain. When you get them to do that, it doesn't feel like interrogation anymore.